Alright, so I bought the cheapest arrows on Amazon about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and I've been shooting them for a while, and they've held up really well. And I enjoy shooting. I actually stripped the fletching off of them. I got ants all over me, that's wonderful. I'll stop the video. And I just got attacked by ants. Just got attacked by ants. I'm gonna try this again. So I bought the cheapest arrows on Amazon. A dozen for like $32, $34. I've been shooting them for a long time now. And I actually cut all the fletching off of them and I put actual like synthetic turkey feathers on there. And it's been fun shooting them. But I thought, you know what's cheaper than Amazon cheap arrows? Homemade arrows. So I took some plywood, not plywood, 2x4s, 2x6, 2x8s, 1x2s, 1x8s, whatever I could find that had a really straight grain in it. And I cut them down in the little 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch squares. Actually 3/8 by 3/8 squares. So 3/8. Yeah, I think it was around 3/8, maybe a little bit bigger, so somewhere under 1/2 inch. And I made my own little dowel cutter out of some plate, out of some metal, and they're not perfectly straight by any means. And I bought these tips on Amazon here. They're glue on, and I got the feathers. I think for these tips right here, a couple dollars for a set of 12. The feathers like $4 for a pack of 50. And then for the knock, I just went cross grain and I just shaved it out 1/8 of an inch, the bowstring width. And then I just took some little twine, some rope, and I just twirled it on there and used super glue to harden it. And that's what I'm shooting. And none of these are perfectly symmetrical. Flat spots, you know, notches and grooves. These are far from perfect. These are anything but perfect. These are the most, I don't know the spine weight. I don't know. It's just some pine, man. Just some pine wood that I got a plate and I drilled a center hole and I drilled 3 additional holes. And then I just ran it through there. There's a bunch of videos how to make a dowel rod maker on YouTube. Just find the one that fits you best and make one yourself. That's all I did. And I made these really crappy dowels. And I got some knocks. I'm gonna actually start making new ones that have actual real knocks on them. But for now, I don't know how far this is. I didn't pace it out. If I had to guess, it's definitely over 20 yards. I shot just earlier and I hit the bag every time. All 7 shots. Now I'm probably going to miss all 7 just because I'm recording. Just above it. This is also a 40-pound draw bow. It's a Monarch. A 40-pound draw, and I replaced the string with a 14. I think it was a 12, a 14, and a 16. I replaced it with a 14 string. Oh, just below. Again, these are not at all symmetrical. These arrows. I see all over YouTube all these professional archers talking like, oh man, you gotta buy the, and look, this one's missing some of the fletching. That one hit in the circle. Missing fletching. Anything but symmetrical. And like I said, these arrows are anything but symmetrical. I don't even think, if you look them straight down, like this one curves. This one has a hard curve to it. I see these videos on YouTube and they're all like, oh man, you got to buy the, you know, the $180 set of arrows for six arrows for $180. If you want pinpoint laser accuracy, you got to have these $150, $200 arrows and blah, 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 blah. I guess if you're doing competition shooting and stuff like that, yeah, sure. But if you're just doing target practice and you're just trying to have fun with it and you're just trying to shoot in your backyard or going to a range just to play and have fun, I think the cheapest arrows they have available will be more than good enough, due to the fact that you're going to have to become better with a lousy arrow then depend on your equipment, you depend on your skill. You get good with a cheap $130 bow, you get good with cheap arrows, and then if you do decide to go with expensive arrows and expensive bows, you're only going to be that much better. But if you start at the high end, man, how much better do you expect to get from your equipment? So I just like having fun shooting the cheapest stuff you could get, you know, do more for less. Well, that was definitely a little squirrely do right there, but it happens, man. Like, they're not perfect arrows. You're gonna have some weird shots, but it's all just for fun. And the cool thing about these is if you lose them or break them, it only costs like 50 cents to make it. Well, that one might have went in the creek on that one. It kind of hit the berm and skipped. Let me go get my arrows. It's right in the middle of the creek. I had to get a branch we cut a couple months back, and I had to fish it out, but we got it out. So now we got a water-soaked arrow that was floating for about 2 minutes. Gotta build some better stairs right there, but now we got one that's wet. So we'll see how it flies. Yeah, buddy. Your bow's broken. Shoot it away. You left it outside and you got messed up. It's broken. You don't have the bow no more. So, how much property do you have? What do you want? How much property? You said it's about what? A little over half an acre, like 3/4?
0.74.
So 3/4 of an acre. So the cool thing about this is you can see how big his yard is. I got a little over half an acre, and I have targets set up there that shoot. But the cool thing about coming back here and shooting is you can walk around randomly and you can shoot from random distances. So let's take this wet arrow and see if I can hit. A little high, and I'll walk over here now.
Oh no.
Now let's go walk over here.
Yeah.
Well, I may not be hitting right in the center, but again, these are homemade arrows. I don't know how far I'm shooting. I don't know what the yards are I'm shooting at. And I don't know what the distance is that I'm shooting. I don't know the height of it, but I'm out here. The cheap arrows. That was right outside the blue. Right outside the blue. Back over here. Oh, no, I got one more. Come on. It's also a lot of fun just getting to shoot at different ranges, at different distances, and different angles. Just like a bar shot here. Well, come back over here. I'll come back over here. may not be great accuracy with homemade arrows for cheap, but man, for fun like this, it's as cheap as you can get. You don't need an expensive bow, you don't need expensive arrows to come out and have fun and shoot. Believe it or not, getting good with a setup like this will make you even better when you go to a really, really good setup. But come on, people used to do this in indigenous tribes with sticks. So this technology here is far superior than what they had way back in the day anyways. Just a lot of fun.
That can shoot it high so someone can go and grab it.
No, I'm not going to shoot it up high. I'm going to shoot some more, but let's see if we can get a couple more shots in here. I'm going to shoot it from right here in the woods. Oh, this is the wet arrow. Can't hit them all, I guess. Says it went to the creek, buddy.
Then you got it. Daddy, when they got it.
Yep, sure did.
And then this wheel went in there. Okay.
Got a couple close to the circle, a few are around the circle. I only missed one shot out of 7. I missed the bag 1 out of 7, but you know, I'm not trying to be precision point laser accurate with this. I'm just having fun. And there's actually a game I like to play, not really a game, but a thing I like to do with like my kids and my friends and my wife is you start at the target and then you walk away from it, and then they'll tell you when to stop or go left, go right, stop, shoot from there. All right, go left, go right, go left, come this way, go that way. And then you stop and you shoot. Kind of almost like a game of horse, but you're playing really, if you don't have any other archers to play with, you play by yourself, but you have your friends and family tell you where to take shots from, so you're not always shooting stagnant in the same spot every time. And normally, in my house, I have targets set at different heights. This is the first target I've hung over here, but I'm gonna hang more. And it's always a good idea to hang multiple targets on multiple heights. Put one on the ground, put one a foot up, 2 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot, 5 foot up. So that way you're never shooting at the same height. You're shooting low, you're shooting high, you're shooting mid, you're shooting medium, and then you're shooting from different distances at different targets. So at my house, I'll shoot one target that's low, and then high, and then medium, and then low. And then I'll never shoot the same target twice at the same distance. So I'll shoot this one, and then I'll move, and then shoot this one, then move around, then shoot that one, then this one, then that one. And it gets your accuracy. If you shoot at 20 yards and you shoot at the same height, at the same distance, the same height, the same distance, you will become good at shooting at 20 yards at that height. But when you go to shoot at other heights and other distances, how far are you? How close are you? How high is the target? How low is the target? That's where I messed up as an archer. I was shooting the same height, the same distance, and I got this target and I had a heart on it for a deer. And man, it didn't matter where I shot from, I could hit that heart every time. And then I try to aim down and I hit the heart. I try to aim up, I hit the heart. And I realized my not muscle memory, but my I don't know what you would call it. I can't think of it. I'm drawing a blank right now. But where you basically, I don't want to say muscle memory, because muscle memory is something completely different than what I'm talking about. But just your motor patterns, right? It's like breathing. You do it naturally. Your motor patterns. You go to touch your nose, you don't have to think about it. You just know how to do it. Well, I did it for so long that my motor patterns were just like there, and that's where I would hit. So when I had to start aiming up, down, left or right, or high or low, I was dead shot. I was horrible. I was all over the place. So once I changed my archery up to where I had multiple high targets and I was shooting at multiple distances, my archery increased. And it wasn't that I was shooting cheap arrows from Amazon. It's just that I became a stagnant shooter at one spot. So I shaved off all the fletching on my arrows. I glued on turkey feathers, and I started having fun with those cheap aluminum arrows or carbon fiber arrows. And it was fun. But then I was like, I got really good at it. I'm not going to say I'm a professional or I'm perfect, but it got to the point that I was so good at it, it became boring and I stopped shooting. So then it's like, let's make our own arrows. Well, they're not perfectly straight. And if you think that an Amazon cheap arrow, well, the spine weight's off or the grain's off. This grain is 27, this grain is 27.4. That's a crappy arrow because it's not the same. This head, this arrow, this field point is 0.4 grams heavier than this one, so it's not going to fly true to it's not going to shoot true to fly. It's a terrible arrow, cheaper, horrible quality, crappy. Make your own dowel maker and make your own dowels. Make your own fletching jig. Put your own feathers on your own. I would make my own feathers with turkey feathers, but I haven't hunted any turkeys and I don't have any fowl around here to get my own feathers. So I had to buy my feathers off of Amazon. Same for my tips. I'm probably going to get to the point where I might even start making my own bodkin arrowheads, and I'll start blacksmithing my own arrowheads. The socketed bodkin arrowheads. If you don't know what they are, look them up. They're pretty freaking cool. So I might even start doing that because it makes it a challenge and it's fun. Not only making your crap, like making your arrows and learning how to shoot your arrows and becoming good at it, it's just so much more fun than just buying all your stuff and then just shooting for, you know, the sake that I bought the most expensive stuff and now I shoot the most expensive things. Eventually, maybe one day I'll start learning how to make my own bows and I'll start becoming a bow maker too and make my own bows and start shooting off my own stuff. It's just fun. It's just getting out there and doing something different. Just a lot of fun making all your own stuff. And I know I'm not making all of it 100%, but I'm making more often than not trying to make my own stuff. As far as it goes for the target bag, I took that deer target. It was a hurricane deer target. Well, it's a square target. It had a deer on one side, had circles on the other. Okay, buddy. So what I did was I shot that heart out so much that the stuffing was kind of falling out. So I pulled all that stuffing out. I went online. I ordered some burlap sacks online. I ordered 3 burlap sacks. I think that's a 24 by 16, if I remember. And I stuffed as much of that filling as I could get, and then I sacked it 2 more times, tie wired it closed, and then put tie wire to hang them up, painted some circles on there. I've been shooting these for about 6 months, and they're holding up great because that burlap kind of self-heals. If you shoot out one side, flip it over, and start shooting the backside out. And that stuffing from that hurricane target, you can stuff in these burlap sacks, and they hold up really well. And like, this is a 40-pound. Even if I'm shooting better arrows with sharper points, it still doesn't ever go through. It only goes about maybe 2 inches in, then it dead stops the arrow. But if I shoot an OSB or shoot through plywood, the arrow goes halfway through the plywood or the OSB with this bow. So they hold up really well. It's just a lot of fun. I'm gonna get my arrows and do a couple more shots. Actually, what we'll do is I'll have Richard tell me where to stop, and then I'll shoot from there. This is the wet arrow. Alright, now you tell me when to stop and where to go. Take me all the way to the back, huh?
Stop. Go my left, your right. Move up some.
This way?
Well, back for you.
Towards the target?
Yeah. All right. All right. Come back. Yeah. All right. Left. My left. Yeah. Stop.
Trees in my side. I have to take a step over. So now I
Cur-
can see it.
Curve the arrow.
Huh?
Curve the arrow.
Yeah. Just below. Alright, clear two.
Move. In some. All right. All right. Keep going in.
Keep going.
Yeah. All right.
Almost.
All right.
Hit it. Just didn't stick.
Come back this way. Go around the trees. Yeah.
Which way?
Anyway, go that way. Just go off to the back corner.
Back corner? Far back corner?
Yeah, the back corner. See. All right.
Yeah, this is probably like a 60-yard shot.
Ooh,
It's just to the right.
close.
I'm going to pace it out. I think, let's see, 1, 2, paces. I think I think every 4 paces for me is 5 yards. I can't remember. But that's 41 paces. I have to figure out the math on that later. Yeah, I just barely missed to the right. Oh, broke an arrow. The one I hit from the side. Yeah, I broke it. Let's see if it can still fly. I ain't gonna be able to fly far, but I'll take this to a little crossbow bolt because I have a little homemade crossbow, and I can actually turn this into a little crossbow. Let me see, is this on it? Oh, it's still on there. It's gone now, though. That.
Last one's up there.
Okay. Up this way?
Yeah, straight ahead.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember. It's like 3 paces or 7 paces. I can't remember, but I measured out my pace. And I measured out the yards for 5 yards for each, how many paces it takes for me casually walking. I can't remember. It's either 3, 4, or 7. I can't remember what my paces were for 5 yards. But I think my stride is roughly like 2.5 feet. I know 5 yards is what, 15 feet? So I'm really curious to know what that distance is right there. But then at the same time, I'm not curious to know because I really don't want to know, because I don't want to start thinking, how far is this? I just want to be able to look and be like, there, that's how far I need to put this arrow. You want to do it again?
Okay.
I will do it one more. All right. Which way?
Towards the house. All right, come to this way, son. Yeah. All right. All right, more this way. All right. Let's go back over there.
Victory?
Yeah.
Victory?
All right. Go in some. All right, now go towards the fence.
What?
Towards the fence. All right.
Left.
Come in. All right.
On the corner, still got it.
Yeah. All right, corner of the house.
Corner of the house. Hit the bag. It was low, but I still hit the bag. So, it's fun. I mean, I'm not planning on killing nothing with these arrows. I'm not planning on hunting with them, but for targets and practice, man, it's a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And then I've shot compounds, crossbow, recurves, longbows, you know, traditional. I've shot all kinds of different bows, man. It's just, I think this little takedown bow is probably my favorite bow to shoot so far off the shelf. It's just a lot of fun. And Richard has a bow too, but he doesn't shoot really anymore. And my kids have bows as well, but Atlas left his bow out and it got messed up. And little fiberglass, little $10 used bow, and it got broke. But I have Weston a little 15-pound compound that he likes to shoot, but he hasn't shot in a couple of weeks, actually a couple of months. But it's kind of my fault because I kind of took some time off from archery during the hottest part of the summer and kind of stopped shooting a little bit. But weather's cooling down, so I'm trying to get some shots in before it gets too late in the evening. When I get home at 5 o'clock, it's too dark to shoot, so try to get a month of shooting in and go from there. But I'm going to start working on my arrow crafting though. They make these dowel makers, man. They have this website where they make, it's like a big pencil sharpener, and you have a square socket. You put a 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch shank in there, and you just run it through a drill, and it's just like a big pencil sharpener. They're like $45, $50 for the master kit. It's like $300, and it has all the different dowel sizes, so you can make 5/16, 3/8, 11/32, all the 3 main arrow sizes depending on what type you're shooting. And I think I'm going to break down and buy it. That way I can start making a little bit better arrows. Not that these are an issue, it's just my dowel maker, you have to constantly mess with it, because if you, I mess a lot of shafts up, because when you're running it through, if you don't run it perfectly through and you start angling it just a little bit, like if you don't get that perfectly through there and you're angled a little bit, it's going to thin that wall out, and it's going to come out looking like a chicken with a wrung neck. It's horrible. So out of the 10 arrows, well, I have 7 now, just broke one, so I'm down to 6, but I had a total of 10. Now the 10 arrows, I probably made about 30 of them, and I had about 10 good shafts that I could actually make into arrows. So I have to get a better down maker, but it's been fun. I'm gonna keep shooting. I'll post some videos maybe later. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Get some ideas and some tips for some fun archery for cheap.